back to another edition of Hustle Rite Friday. I got my good friend Nyzeire McGee with me today. Thank you for coming through. Nyzeire, if you don't know how Hustle Rite Friday goes, we play a game of dominoes. We get in a conversation about some entrepreneurial stuff. We have a definition of the day, and then we just keep rolling. Right. So I'll let you pull first on the dominoes. No, pull them off.
Okay.
Pull your 7. So you had no excuses, you know, if you got the first pick of the litter.
Wow.
Alright. So now, where you from? We'll start there.
I'm from Baltimore, Maryland.
From Baltimore, Maryland. People think about The Wire when they think about Baltimore.
That's the first thing most people say.
You got a big 6? You got a 6'6" or a 5'5"?
Oh, wow, yes.
You do 6'6"?
Wait, not a double though.
You got a double 6? Mm-hmm. No, you got a double 5?
Mm-hmm. Oh, I do.
Go ahead. You want to go first?
Okay.
So if they finish what you're saying, sorry. It's 15, by the way.
The Wire is the first thing everyone says when I wrestle from Baltimore.
So from your perspective, what were some common hustles growing up in Baltimore?
I don't know. Rapper, like most areas, like rapping. Baltimore's the heroin capital.
Oh my God. So what was you doing to make independent money growing up in Baltimore?
You know how some people are like in middle school, like selling snacks and like
that was me.
selling pencils, like always had a hustle. It was just like, I never had that type of relationship with money. Like I was never, can I go like this? No, it has to be.
No, you can go there because it's called the spinner.
Okay.
Now you go like this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was never like that. I really had to grow into like that type of relationship with money and like that drive, that hustle. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, now I had a stepfather who made me be like the neighborhood candy girl.
Yeah.
But you know, he was real street minded and was like, you gonna hustle, you gonna sell sunflower seeds, you gonna have the Huggies, like have all the kids. It was cute for a little while. But it took too much responsibility because somebody had to be home to answer the doorbell. I didn't want to be like, I don't know, I didn't care for it, so.
Oh, so you was doing this from the crib?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought
this
this
is
was
like neighborhood.
Sent to school and like, okay.
No, this is like neighborhood. Everybody get off the bus, stop by my house, get like sunflower seeds, juices, Skittles, like you know what I'm saying?
You gotta be home. That's like a real job.
Yeah, no, I'm telling you, it was cute at first, but then after a while, it's like, okay, I want to be outside. This isn't fun anymore.
Dang. Okay. So at what point did you start to feel like, okay, you found your own niche? And it doesn't have to do with money. It could just be with creating, being an independent creator.
Not maybe like a few years ago when I lived in LA.
Damn. Okay.
I mean, I went to high school for cosmetology, so again, that was cute.
Okay.
It was fun. I thought I wanted to do hair at the time.
Okay.
So I did get a cosmetology license. I do have a cosmetology license, I should say.
Okay.
But something that like my niche, I really didn't find until like last year. So like, and I still think finding and growing into. So I don't.
So did you do hair? How long did you do hair with the cosmetology degree?
So after I graduated, got a cosmetology license after I graduated. Then I moved to LA.
Okay.
And I did
what year
hair.
Was that?
2014, 2015.
Got you.
And I like did hair out my house. Like my uncle had friends, and I would like do their hair. I went to West LA for a little bit, and I met girls out there, and they would come and I would do their hair. But again, I did it for a little bit, but the time it takes, how long you have to spend with people, trying to keep up conversation, and I did natural hair, so
that's a lot of work.
Yeah, I was like, doing braids and faux locks. So okay, when I
for sure.
No?
You can't do that. You can't really say that. So you don't have a 6'3" or It's 0?
No.
So you gotta pull.
Okay.
Until you get a 6-3 or a blank.
No, that's not. Okay.
Okay. Got it.
So yeah. So after that, I was like, I stopped doing hair. My dad used to be like, do hair. You should be out in LA doing hair.
It's 10 points.
Now, how come I don't have no points? Why I feel like you over there cheating?
Nah, because look. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it's increments of 5.
Okay.
Yeah. You gotta count and you gotta talk. I know you know the multitask.
I'm not going. Okay.
Or is that what you were saying? You was
no,
trying to avoid
like
doing hair,
cheating.
talking and doing hair.
So with this here, I can go here though.
Flip it this way, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
5. Oh yeah, that's nothing. See, you got 5 and 6 and 11.
Oh no, I'm not.
It's all good. I'm listening. No, it's your turn. Oh no, you cool.
Yeah.
You're right. I'm thinking. All right, I'm listening to you though. So no, over the hair.
So yeah, stop the hair. Didn't want to spend that much time with people, and doing hair just wasn't that fun. But I just found my niche like within the last few years, like YouTube, and I guess doing hair kind of came around because I did my own hair. Okay. That's what started like YouTube channel and like building that community of women. For sure. Yeah, for sure. So it went like straight into that, and then YouTube is what like started my community that I've built. You know what I'm saying? Like that's where people started seeing me and being like, "Oh, okay, we know her. You made me cut my hair." Yeah.
So from that point, when did you actually see that like people on YouTube actually were tuning in to the things you were doing with the natural hair?
Maybe after like the first year.
I feel so bad, but that's another 15 points.
I hate it here. I feel like something's off. You know what I'm saying?
So that's 7. So you round that up. So pretty much like whoever got the remaining dominoes, you add their hand up and that go to your points. So 7, you just round up to.
I'm not telling you where you're going, but you going straight there.
It's all good.
Fast.
And it's you got some nice nails, but you gotta wash the dominoes though, which means that you gotta mix them up and make sure that we don't get the same dominoes again. So you gotta go like this.
This isn't gonna work out in my favor.
No. Reverse. You gotta do that. You gotta mix them up.
Oh.
That's like the loser's duty. When you lose around the dominoes. The computer don't teach you that.
I don't like this.
So when you got to your YouTube channel, when did you actually see like your consumers actually start tapping in and like you was like, oh, this is something I can actually consistently do?
Well, consistently is where you lose me.
Okay.
And still I feel like I know I have a following there. Even everything I do, I know there are people who watch, but there's still like a little bit, not really doubt, but like, I don't know. Sometimes you're doing something and you know you have support, but I guess you don't realize it when you have it, you know? Yeah. Like, when people like, come back to YouTube, I'm like, wow, damn, I didn't know you cared. Yeah. Like, you know? Yeah. So, even still, I'm on a pause right now, but I'm gonna get back to it. Okay. You know what I'm saying? But I know there are people out there who are waiting for me to, like, do something. I just gotta tap in.
So, okay, my next question is, so what is your main priority? Like, what is your main business that you run every day?
My accessory shop.
Okay.
I would go up every day and do something towards my accessory shop.
So what's the accessory shop called?
Nyzeire accessory shop. I'm Nye. That's my accessory shop.
Okay.
Yeah, it kind of, literally my life has just been a perfect connected dot journey, as everyone's life tends to be. I mean, that's why it's a journey. But yeah, YouTube channel brought me an audience that genuinely likes me. So people just like what I do. They like what I like. So if I be like, I like this, they're like, oh, well, shit, we want to like that too, you know? So when I always have like really intricate nose rings, and people used to be like, "Where'd you get your nose ring from? Where'd you get your nose ring from?" So one day I was like, "All right, I bought 100 nose rings," and I was like,
100?
"Hey y'all, DM me," literally, because they had a minimum order quantity of 100.
Okay.
I was like, "Okay, I bought 100 nose rings. Maybe it cost me like $50." And I told everyone DM me for it, and I even made a little site, and they sold out. And I was like, "Oh shit."
And were you surprised about that, or you kind of?
I'm always surprised, which is like
most
weird.
creators are.
Yeah, because it's like on one hand, I know I'm the shit, but it's like, oh my God, you guys see it too?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, sold out once and I did it again. And I was like, okay, wait, I could do this. That means there's like there's a base, there's a need for this. Right. So I was like, okay.
For sure. So
there's a demand I can supply for this.
No, 100%. So hold on, pull your 7. And then
I go first, even though.
No, I'm just being a gentleman for real. You really don't, but now you
know
go
what?
ahead. Go ahead. So, but that's cool though, because what's crazy, I had a whole different definition of the day, but we're gonna do a different one though, since you just gave over the story. Okay. So our definition of today is gonna be brand equity, right? Yeah. So brand equity is the added value a brand name or identity brings to a product or service beyond the functional benefits provided. So pretty much like an example of that is like Polo. Like people go into a store, go to the Polo store, they know exactly what quality Polo is going to be associated with. Or the same thing with a Gucci or Louis Vuitton or Ace of Spades.
Right.
All those different brands have their own brand equity, and you know what comes along with that.
Right.
So what you were just talking about is pretty much like you built up brand equity through your YouTube channel. Like when were you aware of that practice, or you just like kind of like inadvertently doing that?
I think I was inadvertently doing it, but I feel like you know what? I feel like I'm at a disadvantage right now.
You say you just learned how to play dominoes today.
Literally 15 minutes on the way over here, right, and so I'm just feeling.
I announced it for the user, so we're not gonna hold it against you.
Okay.
But okay. So you say you inadvertently doing it.
Yeah, but once I realized it was selling, like my business. I'm me, which is consistent to me. Do you know what I'm saying? I feel like the easiest people to brand are people who are truly themselves. Mm-hmm. So everything I do is kind of consistent because it's genuinely me. You know what I'm saying?
Positive reinforcement.
So like all my brands, like I love browns, I love earth. I'm just me.
Your brand is you.
So everything is consistent because it's me as long as I truly love it. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I feel like with my business is where I kind of really tapped into it, making everything consistent and like marketing, shipping, and just making sure people get that experience that they're like, okay, bet this is, and then when they come in, if they find my business page and then come and see me, it's like, oh, okay, this makes sense. Yeah, or vice versa, they're like, damn, she put her foot in this. You know, like, okay, she's really trying something with this.
So in conclusion for those, can we say that just the best brands are really built from organic places?
Definitely.
And it's like, you can kind of tell when people are not really the same as the brand that they're trying to push or whatever is monetized. Right?
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
I mean, but also they're consumers for everything. So even when, even when like niggas,
it's not the Breakfast Club.
I'm like, even when niggas be faking, there's always gonna be somebody who buys it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Damn.
It is, but at the same time, it's like no longevity there. Just because you can't keep reproducing that same thing over and over.
Exactly. See, but that's the end of it
now. Almost.
Almost.
You gotta just count fast, you know? Yeah, you count fast.
See, I can't hold my things like that because of these nails, but if I can get down on that table, I'd be working differently.
Let's see. What I want to buy.
Yeah. So people are always gonna buy it, but eventually it wears off. And I think eventually people
I'll tell you every time I score. It's just.
I would like you. I feel like you cheating, and I'd rather you just cheat.
This is all on camera, you know. So this is gonna be viewable. Mm-hmm. It's all on record. But not keep going on.
Okay, well then, now wait a minute.
So you got a 4 and a 6 you can play.
I'm just feeling like.
And a 5, a 4, 5, and a 6.
I keep getting 1 off, and I'm just feeling like, how do you keep getting 10 when I keep getting 1 off?
I don't know.
It's just something. It's feeling fishy, if you ask me.
I might have paid attention a little more.
And if it's blank, it's just 0.
Yeah. But you add the end though still. But I mean, it's still, you can't get no points off that. Unless you had a 5-0 right now, you get points. Okay.
You're killing me. You're really killing
me, baby. So, all right, let's get into the next segment, which is hustling right versus hustling wrong. So, what were some of the ways you were hustling backwards, and then how did you correct that when you first started your accessory business?
I think, well, first in life, I think I was hustling wrong sometimes when I go against the journey. You know what I'm saying? Like when things are going a certain way, like even with doing hair, I didn't want to do hair, but at points I was so resistant against it, it was throwing me in a direction I didn't want to go to. Okay. I didn't realize that hair was going to be the on-ramp to YouTube, that would then be the on-ramp to Instagram, which got me a following to then have a business. Do you get what I'm saying? So I was so resistant to hair, I didn't realize it wasn't just pushing me onto a hair highway, it was pushing me onto a ramp that was going to push me onto a highway that was going to take me to where I needed to be. You know what I'm saying?
I follow you.
And in my business, what you tapped on earlier, I felt like was a good point too, outsourcing. At a certain point, I was doing so much. I mean, it's only been 2 years, but after the first year, I was doing so much by myself and taking up so much time. I was like, okay, at this point, it's not really working for me to do all this. So now I have an assistant, and it was just like,
how long you had an assistant for?
Maybe for 6 months now, and she's like freaking awesome. Like we just get so much stuff done and we mesh, and it took a while for me to find someone, but you know, you just keep holding on, you put the energy out there, and then you get it. You know what I'm saying? And it just like, we get so much done now, and I just feel like,
trust me, I know.
Perfect example of work, like feeling like you got to do everything or trying to get everything done by yourself. It don't make sense to pay someone to do something that you could do if you could just get the time to do it. And it's like, no.
You got to delegate.
Yes, truly, like game changer. And just like even YouTube, I'm gonna get back on YouTube, but I gotta delegate somebody to edit the videos. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so just to make it more doable, because I can record, I'm just not gonna edit. Like,
I feel you. I'm not about to edit this either. So trust me, we definitely on the same page. So,
and just because I can doesn't mean I should. You know what I'm saying? Just because I can edit the video doesn't mean I should. Just because I can pack orders doesn't mean I should. Sometimes you should get help.
I just look at it as when you do all that stuff from the beginning, it's really just kind of like setting the foundation and laying the blueprint for who you do want to take that over, so they know like what vision to continue to actually push.
Right.
What angles you like, all that type of stuff.
Right.
What's crazy, our next segment was Actrite and Get Left, and it was really just talking about when did you decide to transition to your journey from, you can play a 5 too though, just letting you know. Play
or a 6?
5, 6, or blank.
Okay.
But you pretty much already told us that, you know, you had a journey through hair, which led you to YouTube, which led you to branding yourself through your accessory company, which put together pretty much a whole cult following per se.
I can do a 1 though, right?
No.
Why?
It's only because it's the spinner, so 5, 6,
has
0.
Okay.
So lastly, I would want you to name who was on your Mount Rushmore package.
This is such a hard question.
It don't gotta necessarily be like your favorite artist or like your favorite people, like favorite creators, and just more so like who would you look at and you like how you like their story, they come up, or who do you relate to the most?
This is so hard because I don't know. I don't feel like that's hard. I don't feel like I have a Mount Rushmore of people.
You got a couple people or a person?
again with the journeys, I feel like throughout my life there's certain people who are prominent or certain people who I feel like inspired me.
Yeah.
But
it's hard.
Like
it's
even this is like so deep, but like okay, elementary school. Okay. My first project was on like Josephine Baker.
Okay.
I love Josephine Baker. The fact that she was a performer and just was like so clean and so beautiful and like just Then I remember like 5th grade, I did a project on Madam C.J. Walker, and I already knew I wanted to be a hairstylist. I wanted to be the girl who pumped the chair up and popped the cape, like so, like. You know, then I got older, then I was introduced to like Lauryn Hill and musicians that inspired me. India Arie was like at a really young age. My mom was a young mom too, but like that was her take for a while. So India Arie really inspired me a lot. Like her words, I didn't realize how much it was affecting me as a child, but as I got older, I realized how much her words inspired and empowered me at a young age. And still every day, like Beyonce. Yeah. I was just looking, even I was just talking today, I watched, somebody so off topic, but Rod Wave on The Breakfast Club. He was just talking about like, he was just in high school watching The Breakfast Club and now he's on The Breakfast Club. Like Meg Thee Stallion, we literally watched her rapping from college to this. You know what I'm saying? Cardi B, I remember being in cosmetology class, watching her like cursing, smoking cigarettes. Like me and my homegirl had just found her. She had like 60, you know what I'm saying? So to see her now, even from Love and Hip Hop to, so I just feel like there's so many people whose story inspire me because
you just named the tentative one.
You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Like
that was a good list though. Like you went from old all the way to relevant.
You know what I'm saying? Like people's lives. I was listening to Taraji P. Henson talk about how she was homeless and working. Like everybody's story is inspiring when they make it to a certain place because it takes a certain belief, a certain faith, a certain like. I know everything around me is saying I can't, but I can. So then when it actually happens for them, no matter if you didn't fuck with them or if you do or if you don't give a fuck or if you do, it's still like, damn, that person did some shit. You know what I'm saying? And it's inspiring. It makes you feel like, all right, I might be able to do some shit. Like, and he's like, okay.
I mean, everybody you name for sure is like, I can damn near see the correlation between you and their movement.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, and women are freaking awesome. Like, I think women do really cool stuff, and they're more open with their stories. Rappers too. I think a lot of people are inspiring. I was telling my friend, I think rappers tend to manifest their lives so easily. Like every rapper had a crazy past. Like how the fuck did you become a rapper with like racks and you were talking, you know what I'm saying? How did you go from sitting, and I just think like, damn, they really be sitting around imagining doing it one day. They be in the back of their Hondas, like smoking, thinking about being in a Rolls Royce, like every single day, like wake up on the block thinking about it, like literally manifesting it subconsciously. And I think it's a certain like art that doesn't really get talked to about that, probably because they don't recognize it. It's just
I think people don't realize like how much work going into the back end of that shit.
Yeah, definitely.
Because you talk about like editing videos, doing graphics, like having people on your team to be able to be sufficient enough to execute stuff you can't execute.
Right.
And when it comes to a musician, there's so much stuff, like even that me and the team I work with Blast, like we got so much stuff to do. It's still not enough, and it's damn near like 6 of us to spread out the work. You know, so like when it comes down to it, that whole delegation and what you talked about earlier is like the key thing. But even with the manifestation stuff, rappers for sure create a different visual world every single song, and it's like you don't never have to talk about exactly what's going on, but at the same time you can talk about like what you want for yourself, how you envision that, and you then talk yourself into believing all of it and it actually come true.
Right.
So, but that's the real dope part about it.
Yeah, I'm a fan.
But I see you got a lot of dominoes over there.
I would like you to mind your business.
I mean, look, it's the end of the segment, so I'm gonna let you out of here without having to really go through that last set of dominoes.
Don't do it.
I'm not gonna do it to you, but
I was trying not to have to pull another domino. I was hoping we'd just close out.
Yeah. We're gonna close out. You have a great ending TED Talk, you know. So tune in for another edition of Rite Friday. Thank you guys for tuning in today. Thank Nye for coming through, blessing us with some good words of wisdom, and we'll be back next Friday.